Hello everybody, welcome to your Morgana La Bay mid lane, guys. We're going to be starting off with the conduit gem, of course, working our way into our Spear of Desolation, so we're going to need a health pot, a couple of mana pots, and always our beats. So on Morgana, I much prefer the conduit gem over the sands for two reasons. One, the early game clear. Morgana is pretty much good at everything except for the early game PvE. So I would recommend the conduit gem to help out there a little bit. And two, in the late game, this is going to turn into Gem of Focus. And that additional movement speed on her is absolutely killer. For having no escape skill, she tends to be very hard to kill in the late stages of the game, unless you can somehow get yourself to spawn right on top of her. And we'll talk about that later. So level 1, we're gonna be grabbing our one. This is our main PvP, PvE, everything ability. It is on a very low cooldown, which is why we love it. So we're gonna be using it for clear and poke, preferably trying to use it on both the enemy god and the wave at the same time. If you can do that, fantastic. You're gonna get a lot of value out of the ability like that. At level 2, we're gonna grab our 2 because this is gonna be our self-peel ability. So if we get somebody like a Gilgamesh, right, jumping right on top of us, we wanna be able to peel him on off. This is going to be a knock up and knock back. The little square right in front of us, little rectangle I should say, that's the knock up, and then the long rectangle that goes out, that is the knock back part. It is two separate CCs on that ability.
Taste the wicked blade.
So on Morgana, the one thing that you need to be very careful about is just your positioning. So she does not have a traditional movement ability. All of her abilities will do damage, and they all provide good like CC and stuff, but she does not have a movement ability outside of the fact that her 3 does give her movement speed, and her ultimate gives her CC immunity and the hasten fatalis effect. So you'll be able to move omnidirectionally without having any movement speed penalties. And her ultimate also has a good amount of lifesteal on it, so you can also use her ultimate for the lifesteal for that sustain to help to keep you alive as well. But in general, your abilities have very long range, so you want to be standing quite far back. That way you can just kind of sit back and poke and not be putting yourself into harm's way. So we're going to be backing up and working on our cooldown boots. Our cooldown boots and our Spear of Desolation is going to give us a lot of CDR off the bat because they've got a good amount of healing. They've got a Raw, they've got a Baron, they've got some other self-healing as well. We're actually going to have to turn this magic focus into a Divine Ruin here in the early game, so we're not going to be able to get that Spear of Desolation online as early as we would normally be able to. Of course, if they don't have a bunch of healing, you turn that right into the Spear of Deso for that 20% CDR combined with your boots. For this game, we gotta get the anti-heal because you forget about healers and how strong healing is in Smite until you forget to buy anti-heal, and then you learn real quick. So I'm gonna go right for this Gilgamesh. I think he's still gotta jump up. I'm kind of waiting for him to jump. He's gonna jump right into the one, and we're gonna be able to grab that kill. So quick note about Morgana. Morgana's passive is these symbols. And when you build up these symbols, you are going to get some extra damage. You do not need to build up all of those runes in order to be using this passive. In fact, I'd recommend that you try to get it up to 4. So you are going to be able to...
Power can be taken or bought.
You are going to be able to build up these runes by landing your abilities. So you've got your 2 and your 3, and then you've got your 1 and the 3 different abilities on your 1. You've got 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. Your 1-1 is a fear, your 1-2 is a slow, and then your 1-3 is extra bonus damage through a decoy. And each of those different ability effects is going to apply this rune. Those runes are then going to give you passive extra magical power. And when you finally get the 5th rune, they're going to go into maximum overdrive. And you're going to get 2 times the power from them for a limited time. And then they're all going to go away. So what you would prefer to do is to try to get 4 of those built up and just have them on you kind of all the time. That way, you can see right now I've got 4 on me. So the one that I don't have on me is my slow from my 1. So now I've got 4 of them. When I go into a major team fight, now all I have to do is use my 1-2, and I will proc all of that bonus magical power and have it ready for the team fight. So in general, I like to build up the 4 runes, just use that passive effect for the magical power. And then when an actual team fight starts to break out, that is when I am going to actually try to get that 5th rune to double up on the magical power to help me in the team fight. I'm gonna go chase down this Baron a little bit right here. Throw a little defensive ward over here to the left-hand side. I do have to be careful with the Baron because I've got no movement ability. You gotta watch out for that suck. It can get very problematic very quick for us. Luckily, if I have got my ultimate up, I will generically be okay from that.
Embrace the burning shroud.
So for our level order on Morgana, that is going to be 4, 1, and then you have the option of either going 2, 3, or 3, 2. I am a 4, 1, 2, 3 guy. The reason why I like that order is obviously you're going to level up your ultimate and your 1 because these are your 2 best abilities, and they also provide so much damage and value. Gotta do a little fighty fight right here, so I'm saving that point at level 8 so I can put a point into my 1 and my ultimate at level 9. They are really just deep onto us right now, but I actually am gonna have a lot of damage I should be able to follow up with. So I'm gonna try to get, I wanted to get right up on that Ra, but Gilgamesh is still here. I'm gonna have to pop a bead right there, turn around to Gilgamesh, give him a little ultimate love before I get some ultimate love from Ra. And at this point, I probably just need to back myself right on out of this one and get that Divine Ruin to get some anti-heal online.
Their lives are all. Be careful, me, the curse of agony.
So after the ultimate and the 1, I like the 2 because this is going to reduce the cooldown. This is your main form of self-peel, which is the reason why I like to get it second. The damage is nice and all, but honestly, the damage from the 3 is probably better. But I find that the lower CDR in the 2, having it up more often is more beneficial for me personally than having the additional movement speed from the 3. But I do think that either way is a valid way to level her, either 4-1-2-3, which is the way that I like, or 4-1-3-2, which is the way that some other people like. Another thing that is beneficial of leveling the 3 before the 2 is that you get some extra ranged poke, which is always nice. Gilgamesh is going pretty hard on me. He missed his kick right there. Kind of thought I had my Khepri. Yeah, I do. Okay. Oh, Khepri doesn't have his ultimate up. That is unfortunate. I saw that we had the Khepri and the Bastet around us, so I was like, this is going to be a fine fight. But they did not actually get to me in the time, and Khepri didn't have his ult yet. That is a bummer.
Gank middle lane.
At least he got the Bastet to live. Watch out for that Raul, though. So after the Divine Ruin, I'm going to take myself into our Karen's Coin and then a Soul Gem. Karen's Coin, obviously. Still the go-to penetration item right now, which might even after it gets that slight nerf in the mid-season patch, I still think it's going to be the go-to penetration item. That 20% of pen plus all the extra movement that you get from it is fantastic. And
Enemy ultimate down.
on Morgana, we really are looking for extra ways to get movement speed in our kit, because that's going to kind of be our self-heal. It's kind of like Raw, where that little extra movement speed goes a long way when it's combined with your passive. Same concept on Morgana, where if we can get the bonus movement speed from our Karen's coin, and if we can get it from our 3, and if we can get it from the Gem of Focus in the late game, all of a sudden we become very, very hard to kill. So for guys that we don't like going against, I personally don't like going against guys that have really, really good early game clear. In the mid lane, I tend to find that if you're getting pushed to tower, you can't abuse how good her fight potential is nearly as early. So if you're just getting full cleared under tower, even like, you know, something as extreme as like an Izanami, you know, where she's literally just walking up and clearing the wave, that can be very, very problematic for you. So just anybody that's going to be able to walk up, kind of one-shot the wave, and then get out, and then you just have to sit there clearing the wave while they're kind of running around the map freely.
Embrace the burning shroud.
Also, as you would expect on Morgana, walls in general are going to be a bit of a hardship for you, because you do not have any way to get over walls. People that are summoning walls are going to give you a lot of issues, especially when you're trying to go out into the jungle. So keep your eyes out for gods like Ymir, who are going to be body blocking out your brains with those walls, Kabrakens, etc. Outside of those walls, and the early game clear, she really, really does well.
I'm going for jungle buff.
As far as her as a god and when you're looking to fight, you're really looking towards the mid game. She does have a lot of early game 1v1 potential. If you land her entire kit, that classic combo is going to be to land her fear. After you land her fear, you can go ahead and throw up the 3 for a poke. That's kind of your range combo. If you can get in range of your 2, then you're gonna go your 1 for the fear, followed up into the 2 for that knock-up combination, and then finally your 3 for a little bit more range poke as you are leaving. Now they are diving very hard right here. Gonna try to help out as much as I can, but it looks like they might even potentially have that warded, and they've also got their solo laner here, and we do not have our solo laner, so we got to be very careful after that. Ra's gonna try to come back in the mid, but he is safely gonna path himself all the way back around. Another thing about Morgana is, yes, your 1 has 3 different things that it can do. But honestly, outside of building up your actual passive meter, right? Trying to keep that passive meter at about those 4 runes for the bonus magic power, you're mostly going to be using the fear. In the ultra early game, sometimes using the decoy, that is the 1-3. Sometimes can provide a little bit of extra poke, which is nice. And then at certain stages of the game, you might want to kind of zone out a location, and that's really what the slow is good for. The actual CC on the fear is just so superior to anything else, though, that 90% of the time you are going to end up just using that 1-1 kind of over and over and over again. Another thing you should know, two things about Morgana's 3 that a lot of people don't realize. One, you don't have to hit anything with the 3 in order to get the movement speed. You don't have to turn around and hit a gun. You don't got to do nothing. You just got to throw that ability out into the world and you get that movement speed. So if you're running away, you don't have to like try to turn around and hit the enemy team or anything funky with it. You literally just launch out that ability and you're good.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So you don't gotta do any James Bond 180 turnaround trying to hit nothing. You just throw out the 3, boom, I've got bonus movement speed. The other thing on her 3 is that it not only does it do the initial damage, it is also an ability that will do damage to you if you try to use a movement ability. So it's not a cripple. It's not going to stop them from using a movement ability, but it does bonus damage if they go and use it. So if you hit like a fast set with this and then she goes and uses her jump, she's actually going to take damage when she uses that leap. So any leap or dash or anything of that sort, it will actually do another tick of damage to the target. And that is a 4-second, I do believe, debuff on the target. So anytime within the next 4 seconds that they use a movement ability. So you can get some extra damage on it that way. I wouldn't like keep that in mind when you're like using the ability in terms of like, ooh, I want to make sure that's like they don't want to use their jump. It's just kind of like a little bonus tidbit that comes with the ability where you might find yourself like getting some bonus damage out of something and you're like, how did I get that bonus damage? That's how you got it. It was the bonus damage from her 3. As far as the build is concerned, we definitely want CDR. She factors in super well, which is an argument for the Sands of Time. But like I said, I think that the Gemma focus for the late game is just too dang good. So I get the conduit on her. Normally we would have had that Spear of Desolation, but we had to get the anti-heal this game. I'm going to continue to dive on this rod. I think this is probably a good idea. We should be able to just pick this up with my ultimate. And now I need to get myself out of dodge before the Baron finds his way towards me. Just trying to use this 3 for some bonus movement speed. Gonna have to pop my beads right there to get out of that Baron ultimate range. But I am just making so many friends right now over here in the jungle. And now we can start working on our soul gem. Because we're gonna be spamming abilities so much, we definitely want to grab that soul gem. Soul gem, another item that's getting a small nerf in the mid-season patch. But the gods that are good with soul gem will continue to be good with soul gem. It's really not that big of a nerf. In fact, with the changes to boots, I actually think that soul gem might start to get picked up even earlier because it's such a cheap gold efficient item.
Your middle tower is under attack. Stay put. Your right tower has been destroyed.
As far as pairings on your team with the Morgana, she provides a lot of setup, a lot of CC as a maid.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So having some good follow-up damage is always helpful. She's going to be providing a lot of constant DPS and also a lot of constant crowd control. And she is a little bit susceptible to getting ganked, so it's also nice to give her a little bit of love through like a Capri or something is a good way to try to help keep your Morgana alive for when she's getting her absolute brains focused out in the mid lane doing a god guide. Now we can finish up that soul gem, and we can also get ourselves working into a staff of Myrddin. So a lot of people don't pick up the staff of Myrddin. on Morgana because they think that her ultimate lasts too long, so it's not an efficient use of Myrddin, and you could not be more wrong. Staff of Myrddin is arguably top 3, basically, on Morgana, and that's because after your ultimate, you're gonna have your 1-up, and so now you're gonna get the double fear. It's already one of the better abilities in the entire game, and you're gonna get to use it twice in a row, so you're gonna get that full-blown double fear duration, which is an absolute game changer in a team fight. So always get yourself that Staff of Myrddin. It also doubles if you are not going aggressively at the time that you use your Myrddin. Maybe you're using your ultimate defensively for the CC immunity. That's okay, because then you're going to get the double 2 or 3. Either way, you're getting attacked by a bunch of melee guys. Congratulations. Now you've got 2 knockbacks to get them all on out of your business. Or you can go ahead and use your 3 and double up on the duration of that bonus movement speed. Either way, really helpful for getting Morgana out of some dodgy situations.
On my way.
Looking back towards my Bastet right now, looks like he's getting attacked by a Baron. Not gonna make it over to him in time, so I am gonna come back over here to this Gilga. Try to get myself out of that Gilgamesh. And now I got Izanami running at me, so I gotta keep kind of the distance between us. Use that fear, try to get her off of me. Just keep going back and poking over and over again. Now they're winning this fight pretty hard right now, I would say. So let's go get a little, try to fear on the Wukong. I got a Rod kind of running at me. Now they got a lot of people low, so I'm gonna go to use my ultimate right now, try to catch up to some of these guys, and we're gonna be able to kind of slice and dice right down through their faces. I know that his ultimate is down on the Baron because he used it earlier, but it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to grab any more off of this one. I do have a Sentry Ward as well for the Fire Giant. Maybe we can grab ourselves a little Pyromancer off of this. Try to even up the gold a little bit. So on Morgana, you're gonna see me positioning myself pretty far back in these fights. You kind of play her the way you would a Thoth. Walls aren't quite as much your friend as they are on Thoth. Not all of your abilities are gonna go through those walls, like your 3, right? That's gonna get stuck on a wall. But you do want to be standing pretty much as far back as you can. If you get one person diving you, it's really not the end of the world. You should be able to self-peel, which is kind of one of the blessings of Morgana as you get into the late stages of the game. You can mostly peel for yourself, so you don't have to like rely on a support in order to do that for you. Unless, of course, they've got a huge amount of like walls blocking you off and stuff, in which case you're probably going to be in trouble. Displacements as well can also make Morgana in trouble because her positioning is so important. If you get like Sobek plucked or Baron sucked, very easy, obviously, to get pulled out of position by those abilities that are very literally designed to pull you out of position. So we're going to sit back, look for some poke. I still need to get another rune online. So I'm gonna see if I can't grab one of those over here on a Baron. Looks like I probably should be able to. There we go. Gotta get some nice poke as well. Try to use a little peel from my team. Tiger's coming in. Let's give him a little bit of knockback love. Gonna throw down a little 2 over here, a little zoning. Now Wukong has to kind of go through that. I'm gonna ulti for this Wukong because I do believe we're gonna be able to kill him before he gets out of here. Should be able to hopefully get in range of this Gilgamesh for my 1. Not gonna be able to. Gotta use that 3 for some bonus movement speed though, combined with the bonus movement speed from AMA, and it does look like we are gonna be able to get this Gilgamesh. Now I need to head back down to my team, continue to help them out. His ultimate should still be down on the Baron, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Try to hit Izzy with the fear, see if I can't follow with the 2. Not quite going to be able to get in range there of that Izanami. So now I'm going to look around the back and go for some poke around here. Go for that fear right on the Ra. He's coming right around the wall. Hit him with a little knockup. Boom! Damage combo. And there we go. And now we've got the Gem of Focus online from our previous back. We've got the bonus movement speed. I'm going to call for the attack Fire Giant play right here. And you can see that as Morgana gets later into the game, as you get those Chiron's coin stacks, right? As we get all this bonus movement speed, we get to start to be able to play a lot more aggressive with our positioning, allowing us to get off a lot more damage, even getting into the melee range to utilize our 2, because we're a lot more comfortable with the fact that we can actually get back out of the range because we're just so flippin' fast. If you haven't played against a lot of Morgana lately, it's actually crazy how fast she can get, just with a regular build like this. Not even like, it's not even like I'm going for like a meme movement speed build, right? Like just you know, 2 very regular items that just provide some extra movement speed, and it goes a long way for her. Now we're gonna back up. We can get our full staff of Myrddin, and this is where things tend to get just a bit nutty. Now we need to group up and go shove that left lane. Farthest lane, of course, away from the Fire Giant.
Attack left lane.
Always want to be shoving down that duo lane once you got that fire. The best time to shove down duo lane is all the time, but we've got like 12 people in mid still.
Gank left lane.
Let's see if we can go gank this Baron. He is really out of position, but he's very fast because he's got the Shield of Regrowth, as well as basically all the movement speed items in the game. But he is still out of position, so I'm going to see if I can go hit him with some abilities over here. If he goes for the ulti, that's fine. I'm just going to counter ulti myself. That is fine. Now we've got the Myrddin proc as well. This time I'm going to use the Myrddin onto the Wukong, hit him with a little fear. I'm going to be able to follow with another fear. I'm going to get hit with a little knockup combo, bada bing, bada boom. And that is why Myrddin is busted on Morgana. So he was feared into a fear, into a knockup, into a knockback. It's a lot of CC for a mage to provide. And now they've also got a lot of their stuff down, so we should be able to look pretty aggressively at this Phoenix, especially if we can get our Bastard to come help us with this Phoenix assault as well. Hello, Gilgamesh in the back. Gotta be careful of that. Looks like he came in on me pretty hard. Ra ulti is down. Gotta be using my fear as aggressively as I can. We got the Baron with it. Gotta go for the Ra now. Gotta go for the Izanami. Didn't quite hit the knock-up, knockback, but I should be able to kill him with the 1 before he actually gets into that fountain. We need to be careful here with the Baron. I gotta pop my ultimate to give myself that immunity. Looks like we got Wukong coming back. He's gonna learn all about the double fear again, because I've got it up again with the Myrddin. Now we actually need to be careful here. We lost our hunter, so our ability to do these phoenixes has dropped a lot. Our Apollo getting sucked into the fountain right there kind of ended that assault. If our hunter lives right there, we honestly probably get 2 phoenixes plus the tier 2 tower there over in the right lane. So right now I've got 30% CDR. If we ended up with the Spear of Desolation instead of the Divine Ruin, we would have had a full 40% CDR. It's not a big deal. At the end of this game, we're actually going to end up selling our CDR boots for Spear of Desolation, and then we're just going to use a red pot, and that'll bring us right on up to that 40% CDR number that we are looking for on Morgana. You definitely want to have 40% though CDR on Morgana by the end of the game. She benefits highly from it. Her one cooldown is a baseline 10 seconds. I know it doesn't show on the ability, but you gotta trust me, it is 10 seconds. Which means that when you have 40% CDR, it is now a 6-second cooldown ability, which is a 1-second fear, which means you can pretty much hit somebody CC locked every 5 seconds, which is, and this is true, disgusting. Gonna walk myself over towards Wukong, see if I can't get him right out of that bird form, hit him with a little wombo combo knockup. We should be able to force the ulti right there. Not too shabby. He's gonna go for it again. I'm gonna see if I can't hit him with another little one. Ooh, he's gonna be trying kind of tricksy here, actually. Baron uses his ulti. Oh, this is actually not a great little fight for us. Once again, losing. Our Hunter way too early in this engagement. We're having a really hard time keeping up with the Baron because he's gone that full movement speed. Now we got to make sure we don't lose any more people. Oh, jumping back in there. That was definitely the risky play of the day. I don't know about that one. We need to be back here just kind of doing a little pyromancer and stuff. That's a good stun right there. I'm gonna have to pop my beats Nagus, have to pop my one onto myself. Little knock up, little ultimate. That way I can turn around and get some big damage and life steal up. Now I've got my double fear back up. I'm gonna use that to kill the Izanami. We really need to be getting a kill onto this Baron at some point. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. He's gonna try to land on the AMA. I'm gonna see if I can't knock him over into the tower. Not quite gonna be able to land that. But our Apollo is back, which means we should be able to actually continue this fight. Gonna use my bonus movement speed from my one and from the Apollo to grab that kill. This is not a bad fight still for us, as long as we can try to catch up to that Baron, but he is pretty flippin' fast. Now I'm gonna call for attack Fire Giant. We got 3 people here, including the AMA and our Hunter. If you're gonna be able to burn a Fire Giant fast, it's gonna be with an AMA and with an Apollo with crit. That'll do it every single time. Our Apollo is a little bit late to getting over to the Fire Giant, but I don't think it should matter. So we should talk about Morgana's glaring weakness. Her glaring weakness is that she is not, I repeat, a not good objective secure. You do not have any ability that is very strong at securing an objective. You just want to fight every single time, preferably around the objective instead of going for it. But pretty much any other mid laner in the game is going to have better secure. Ra, Poseidon, Kukulkan, Scylla, pretty much everybody has better secure than you. It is absolutely your biggest weakness. So keep that in mind when you're playing her, that you're probably going to need to just kill the enemy team. Instead of like going for that big like Fire Giant burst and then you just like secure it at the end. She is not good at doing that, which means she's actually better at stealing an objective than securing it, because for stealing it, she can actually walk in there, go for like a big fear kind of combo dealio. So she actually has better steal than secure. I would much rather go to steal an objective with her and try to get my fears off and knock up some CC and get people all, like, kill them, than I would try to actually secure an objective.
Attack left lane. The wicked blade. Embrace the burning shroud.
All right, now it's back to something left lane. This time we've got the enhanced fire, so things should be a little bit easier for us. Really good mess there from our Apollo, but he also dashed in right in front of a Baron, which is the risky flipping play of the day. Oh my goodness, we gotta be more careful with these. Izanami's gonna get hit by my fear. She's down to half HP just from one ability. Our AMA is kind of in this alone right now. I'm gonna throw down my ultimate and just go for some huge damage on their backline. We're gonna hit the Ra with it a couple of times. We're getting so much damage on them right now, but we don't have anybody actually focusing the Phoenix. There we go. Now we actually got the Phoenix. I'm gonna call for attack middle lane. We just need to walk over here and just start going for it. With the AMA Apollo, we can burn Phoenixes so fast. We just need to be going for them. I'm gonna try to keep a little peel on the back line right here for the skill commish. Thought he was going to jump in. He does. They also get feared on the Wukong and the Baron. I'm going to go for the Wukong right now. Once again, spamming on my one. He's going to be feared to see if we can't follow up with one more little ability. He's going to be so fast because of that stupid Baron. And now I need to be careful for that Baron ultimate. Now that we've got 3 people dead, we should be able to actually put this game away. So you can see in the early game, Morgana very, very susceptible to getting focus. You're going to be rotated on. It's going to happen. You don't have a getaway skill, so they're going to put pressure on you early. But the later the game goes, the more you get into your full build, the more problematic you become, until eventually you get to the late game. And honestly, the best comparison that I can give to Morgana in the late game right now is Tiamat when she came out, where you felt like when you were going against her late game, it was just like, what am I supposed to do? I can't kill her, but she's doing so much damage, and you end up doing 50k damage on Morgana, guys. And that is our Morgana mid lane guide. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.